If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the community. You won't want to miss what happens next. What if everything you thought made you special, your money, your clothes, the way the world seemed to revolve around you, vanished overnight? What if the people who once begged to be your friend suddenly turned their backs the moment you needed them most? And what if, in the middle of losing everything, you discovered that the one person who'd been quietly there all along was the only one who ever saw the real you? My name is Vanna, and I grew up believing I was untouchable, spoiled, adored, living a life most people could only dream of. But when my mum's empire crumbled and we lost it all, I learned the hard way who my real friends were and who wasn't. This is the story of how I went from princess to outsider. From chasing the wrong kind of love to finding the kind that actually matters. It's about pride, heartbreak, humility, and the quiet strength that comes when you finally stop trying to buy your way through life and start earning it instead. I was born in a small town in Moldova to a single mum who struck gold when she moved to the big city. Mum was a natural entrepreneur. Every business she touched turned into a success. And she spoiled me absolutely rotten. All I had to do was glance at something, and it was mine. For my 8th birthday, I casually mentioned wanting a bigger swimming pool. Next thing I knew, she'd had an entire water park installed in our backyard, slides, fountains, the works. My friends and I went wild the first time we saw it. "Oh my God, Mum, you're the best. Anything for you, love," she said, hugging me tight. "And remember what the doctor said, talk slowly, and you won't stutter as much." Yeah, I used to stutter a lot when I was younger. I mostly had it under control now, but it still slipped out when I got nervous or excited. Otherwise, my life felt perfect. Everyone wanted to be me. If you've ever felt like you had it all only to wonder if any of it was real, pause right here and drop a comment below. Tell me your story. Those moments of doubt, they hit harder than we admit. That perfect life lasted until 10th grade, when Mum's company stock crashed overnight. We lost everything, the house, the cars, the security. We were about to be homeless. I reached out to my friends for help, thinking they'd have my back. But that's when they showed their true colors. "So, sorry, Vanna," one said over the phone, "but we're facing financial problems too." Another shrugged. "I want to help, but my dad works really hard. I don't think he'll give your mum money. He always says she got rich by pure luck."
My life used to be perfect. Designer clothes, a huge house, friends who adored me, until my dad left. Suddenly, those same friends weren't so friendly anymore. One of them actually told me my mom wasn't working hard enough and to just go away. Can you believe it? People change so fast. We lost the house, and my mom decided to send me to live with her old friend in her tiny hometown while she tried to get back on her feet. I hated leaving her, but I knew I had to do it for her. The moment I stepped off the plane at the smallest airport I'd ever seen, I was already homesick. But then I saw him, a guy my age, holding a sign with my name on it. I tried to look confident. "Hey, you must be here for me," I said. "Wow, it's really hot here. Aren't you going to get my bags?"
He just looked me up and down.
"Oh, I'm so sorry. Where are my manners? I'm Dimitri. And guess what? I'm not your servant. Pick them up yourself." How incredibly rude. I had to drag my own suitcases outside, only to find a donkey cart. "Where's the car?" I asked, completely baffled. He smirked. That's your ride, princess. Hop on. It was my first time on a donkey cart, and honestly, the ride itself wasn't bad. But the whole way, all I could think about was how much I wanted to punch Dmitri for making fun of me. Thankfully, his mom was the complete opposite. She was my mom's friend, and she gave me the biggest hug the second she saw me. She showed me to my room, which was tiny. This is so cute, I said, trying to be polite. My cat has a room just like this back home, I heard Dmitri mutter under his breath. I had to leave my room for this city brat. His mom heard him too. Look, she said to him, if she doesn't like it, you can always sleep in the basement. It's got lots of space, and pets too. A family of rats. What a total jerk. If it weren't for his amazing mom, I wouldn't have survived a single day. I just decided to pretend he didn't exist. A week later, I started at the local high school. To my surprise, I made friends almost instantly. But I quickly figured out why. All the girls just wanted to know what it was like living with Dmitri. Not great, I admitted, because he's a handsome jerk. One of them finished for me, giggling. A few days later, the school had a huge football match. I volunteered to be the water girl. Of course, Dmitri was the team captain, and all the girls were chanting his name. So lame, I mean, sure, he was handsome, but just a little. I was so busy watching him that I didn't see another player running backward trying to catch a pass. He crashed right into me, knocking us both to the ground. Are you trying to kill me? I yelled, watch where you're going.
He just looked at me with this huge grin. Great advice, he said.
I'll remember it next time. He smiled like an idiot and then winked at me before running back onto the field. The next day, I was leaving school when I saw him again. He was standing next to a car that was literally filled to the roof with roses. The second he saw me, that same silly smile appeared on his face. Hey, beautiful, he said, walking toward me. These are for you. I'm Nova. I was speechless. Wow, that's a lot of roses, I managed to say. Thanks. Who was this guy? And why was I suddenly caught between a sarcastic jerk and a super charming football player?
Nova was on the rival football team, but he showed up outside my school every day to ask me out. I kept saying no, but he wouldn't take it. Then one day at home, I saw a car pull up with Nova in the back seat. He'd found where I lived, but then Dimitri's mum went to the car. The driver handed her an envelope and left. What was that about? Later, I asked Aunt. She told me her late husband used to work for Nova's dad. Even after he passed, the family kept helping with money and paying for Dimitri's school. Wow, that made me see Nova differently. So the next time he asked me out, I said yes. When Nova picked me up for our first date, he said, I was surprised, this is where you live. How do you know these people? I told him everything about Mum's crash, moving here. I'm sorry that sounds tough, but just be careful of Dmitri. What do you mean Dimitri's dad worked for us? We'd play together as kids, but I always felt he resented us, especially me. Like he hates me because I was born rich and he wasn't. I didn't have trouble believing that. Dmitri was always mocking me for being a rich brat. My date with Nova was unexpected. Instead of fancy restaurants, he took me to a soup kitchen for the homeless and we volunteered. I always come here when I want to do something special, he said. Feels good, doesn't it? This boy was so sweet. When he dropped me home, I found Dmitri on the porch. Seriously, you're dating Nova? Did the rest of the male population die? What's your problem? He's a nice guy. Oh yeah, so where'd you go? Orphanage this time. Pet shelter for poor puppies. That's the kind of stuff he does on first dates to impress girls. I don't expect you to understand genuine kindness. I didn't expect you to be this dumb. You guys deserve each other, two spoiled brats. Nova was right about him judgy and bitter. I started going out with Nova and had a good time, but he was always too generous. Fancy dinners, expensive gifts. It made me uncomfortable. Nova, I wish you wouldn't. I can't give you gifts like these. I'm not expecting anything, but I can spoil my girlfriend, can't I? He kissed me gently for the first time. I didn't feel sparks, and he was falling way too fast. The next morning, Dimitri and his mum were gone. Then I found them in her room. She was in bed with a high fever. The doctor said she'd caught a virus, advised us to stay home from school for 2 weeks too. I wanted to help, so I made soup. Carrying it upstairs, Dimitri stopped me. What's that? Soup, Mum would make this for me when I was sick. No thanks. You're not giving that to my mum. How would you know how to cook when you've never lifted a finger? I snapped. Dimitri, can you just shut up for once? Yeah, I used to be rich. It's not a crime. I'm not useless and spoiled. I pushed past and took the tray up. Later that night, a knock on my door. Dimitri peeked in. I'm sorry about earlier. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that. Yeah, you shouldn't have. But it's okay. I get you're worried about your mum. Here. But I haven't been very nice to you. I'll be better. After that, Dimitri and I kind of became friends. We took turns caring for his mum, doing chores. At night, we'd sit outside and talk for hours. He was sweet, simple, and really starting to grow on me. 2 weeks flew by. His mum recovered completely. One day, Dimitri was working in the garden while I read, quietly admiring how good he looked without a shirt when he spoke. Hey, Vanakan, you check if water's coming from the hose. I don't know if it's broken. I picked it up. Water gushed straight at my face. Dimitri laughed like crazy. Gosh, you're so easy to trick. I grabbed mud as he ran. Chasing him, he tripped high, rubbed it all over his face. What are you doing to her, jerk? Nova was about to attack Dimitri when I stopped him. Hey, we were just playing. I started it. And why were you doing that? Did you forget I was picking you up for dinner? You're going to tell her what she can and can't do now. The boys looked ready to fight. I dragged Nova aside, told him to wait in the car while I cleaned up. I'd forgotten about dinner at his place. Nova lived in a mansion. His dad welcomed me warmly. You're living with Dimitri and his mum, right? His father was a close friend of mine. Friend, Nova scoffed. Come on, Dad, he was our servant. Dad's soft-hearted and likes helping people. Dimitri would never have gone to school without him. And I'm glad I helped, his dad said. That boy is hard-working and will make something of himself, unlike some entitled rich kids I know. Nova's dad excused himself. Nova flung his plate at the wall. This is what happens every time I bring that jerk up. Dad has always liked Dimitri more than me. I'm sure that's not true. Don't think I'm blind. You like Dimitri more too, don't you? You've been avoiding me for 2 weeks to spend time with him. Are you crazy? I told you his mum was unwell. Liar. I stared in shock. He snapped out of it. Vanim, sorry. I'd like to go home, please. With the driver, I felt shaken. Nova was turning strange. At home, Dmitri sat in the kitchen looking unpleasant. "You're back early. Were you waiting for me?" "Yeah, waiting to tell you you're an idiot for dating Nova. He's fake and horrible. Why can't you see that?" I was going to tell him I was breaking up with Novaboo. That made me mad. There you are back to being a jerk. Mind your own business, Dmitri. Don't talk to me. Dmitri and I stopped talking after that. I broke up with Nova too. He begged forgiveness, but I held firm. He was too much. A few days later, Mum called with amazing news. Her company was running again. She wanted me home. I'd leave right after final exams next week. Nothing keeping me here anyway. After exams, there was a big football match hour, school versus Nova's. I sat far back so he wouldn't spot me. The match was intense. Dmitri and Nova kept clashing, almost fighting. Our team won big. Nova stormed off furiously. Dmitri looked so happy. I wanted to congratulate him. I thought I'd catch him outside the locker room, but walked in to find two guys pinning him as Nova punched him. "Stop it. Nova, don't hurt him." Nova turned with crazy eyes. "Oh, how worried you are now, but you didn't care when you hurt me. I know you broke up with me because you have feelings for this worm. After all that money I spent on you, I thought because you were rich once, you'd have class, but you're just cheap. You're a psycho, and yeah, I like Dmitri a lot. Now, I understand why your dad likes him better. You'll pay for saying that. I'll convince Dad to stop giving them money. You'll see." "No, you won't, Nova, because I've seen everything I needed to, and I am so disappointed in you." We turned. Nova's dad had come to watch and looked furious. He grabbed Nova's arm and led him away. "Dmitri, are you okay?" "Your face, I'm fine. Vanna, I should have listened to you about Nova. No, I was unfair and mean to you. And I'm really sorry about what you said back there. Is it true?" "Which part?" "The part where you said you like me a lot." "Yeah, I like you. But big deal, like me. Because I like you. I guess it's just you then." He grinned and pulled me in for a kiss, and it was perfect. Like this video if you've ever had a moment where the person you least expected turned out to be exactly who you needed. And share it with someone who understands that feeling of finding real connection when you least expect it. Sometimes the best things in life aren't the ones money can buy. They are the ones that show up when everything else falls apart. What do you think? Can people who start off clashing ever turn into something real? Have you ever had a rivalry that turned into something more? Drop your thoughts, your own stories, your predictions in the comments below. I read every single one. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you're re-notified the moment the next story drops. Thank you for staying with me through this one. See you soon.